I spoke earlier to R.S. Sharma, who heads the government's CoWIN platform, which is of course the main platform that coordinates vaccination drives. And I began by asking him that while these targets are certainly creditable when we achieve them, if you average it out, it's still well below targets and we still have a long way to go, Mr. Sharma.
Well, I think first of all, the variation in the figure, variation is inevitable, because the states, for example, you should give them one day at least in a week where our health workers, our vaccinators, doctors, they must sort of have some relaxation at least once a week. Secondly, the states also have their own programs, universal immunization program also goes on. So these variations do take place, but I think the overall statistic, if you look at them, I think we have done phenomenally well. 1 crore is not even the population of many of the countries, and we are clocking 1 crore. A couple of days back we clocked 1 crore 41 lakhs. So it's actually not even 1 crore; it's nearing 1.5 crores.
Sure.
So I think this only proves that we have the capacity, and our people are working very well, and the credit is not to any individual. Credit is to the entire network of our health workers, state government, our honorable Prime Minister, who has been sort of directing this whole program.
But of course, credit
deserves.
Yes, credit to everybody. But when you say 1 crore is a record and bigger than other, that's the target set by the government itself. So if the government is meeting its own targets, that is good. But that's as per their own declaration. But the question really is that we should have already been doing 1 crore every day, and we're not, which means, as I said in my introduction, we're likely to miss targets.
No, I think I don't agree with that. I have not agreed in the past also, because what has happened, imagine we started at 200,000 per day. This was the figure. And then, somebody was showing me the graph which says it took 85 days to cover the first 1 crore or whatever number. So I think this way, what is happening is that the speed has accelerated quite a bit. And I am very sure that we will be able to achieve the target. I mean, obviously, one should not just, do an arithmetical calculation, because this is actually increasing quite substantially.
No, that's true.
And you can see that.
Yes, it is increasing, but the fact is that we're still, we're still struggling to meet our targets.
Let me also do a caveat, which I think I have been doing, is that ultimately I am really in charge of the CoWIN platform. So as far as the scalability of the platform is concerned, I am absolutely certain we have done 1.5 crores, which actually translates to fairly 20,000 vaccinations per minute and a couple of 300 vaccinations per second. So that's one thing which we have been doing, and the platform is absolutely scalable. I don't think there is any platform in the world which has scaled up. But your numbers also, this number is really, I'm not the one who will be able to comment. Only thing which I can say is that we have done a great job, and we are continuing to do a great job. So if somebody has just doubts, and there will be some people who will continue to have doubts all the time, but that's unfortunate. We don't have any doubts that we will be able to achieve the target that the government has set up.
It's not about some people having doubts. It's about simply pointing out the gap between the government's own targets and what we're actually able to do. But the real question is the demand-supply question, sir, Mr. Sharma, which is that our vaccine production is only, based on their own declared figures, from what we know, in the range of 60 to 70 lakh per day. So that's pretty much all we'll be able to do.
So that, I think, is again, though of course I will not be able to give any authentic statement on that front, but I think your assumption that only 60 to 70 lakh per day is the production level is not correct. Let me just say that. Not say much more about that.
Okay. Well, I'm only going by the numbers that these companies declare, because unfortunately, vaccine production numbers in this country are not transparent. They're not regularly declared. But overall, though, you're saying that we are able to meet our targets, we are able to expand, and the important thing is that we're not just expanding in cities, but we're also going into rural India.
No, certainly. In fact, we have been saying from the very beginning that the CoWIN platform is an extremely inclusive platform. It's a scalable platform. It's an interoperable platform. Now, just to give you an idea that people confuse that registration and appointment scheduling is the only job that CoWIN does. That is not correct. CoWIN as a platform contains a number of applications. So one application is scheduling and appointment and registration. Another application is hospital onboarding, where they declare their capacity and their timetables. Another is the vaccination module, where vaccinator at the time of vaccinating a person enters the data or fetches the data from the registration module and basically marks the people as registered, as vaccinated. And finally, there is a certificate download module, which basically enables the certificate downloading. There is another module of recording the adverse impact of vaccination, AEFI module, that's also there. So basically, what has happened since the very beginning, the number of people who were coming and registering on the platform, that was very high, because at that point in time, there were more demand than the supply at that point in time. Now the situation is much better, and therefore, what is happening is that only about 30% people are getting registered and get the scheduling done for their vaccination. The rest 70% are coming what is called walk-in, number one. Number two, the urban-rural divide or urban-rural bifurcation also has been done. And if you look at the figures, again, that is highly, it's not as if the urban people only alone are getting the vaccination. So now, obviously, 71 crore is not the urban population of this country. So obviously, large number of people and very significant, about, I don't know the percentage exactly, but that you can figure it out from CoWIN platform itself, where we categorize the vaccination centers as rural and urban. And basically, those guys are coming from rural areas. We have also taken a number of steps. For example, every state government and union territory is taking steps to mobilize people. So they are having all kinds of, communications. We have enabled the district administrators and the state administrators and even the vaccination centers to download the list of people whose second dose is due. And we continue to, kind of send them SMSs. But even when the people don't come and don't get, vaccinated, there is a system where people are mobilizing. So every effort is being made to include everybody, because we also believe that unless everybody is safe, nobody is safe.
Okay. That is a key mantra. Unless everybody is safe, nobody is safe. Thank you very much indeed, R.S. Sharma, for joining us.